One early morning, Gordon awoke with a start. He felt strange, but could not explain why. "It's the ditch water," his driver said to Gordon. "It could get into your mechanical workings and make you feel sick." Gordon was satisfied with that explanation, but what was odd was that he couldn't remember falling into the ditch, even though it had recently happened. I'm just exhausted from pulling the express so well," he chuckled, and fell back into an uneasy sleep. Later that morning, Gordon sleepily brought his train to the junction. "Long night?" Thomas asked. "Yes. I had some very strange dreams," Gordon replied. "Me too. It was like we were back at the mine again. But when I awoke, I couldn't actually remember being there at all." "I had the same dreams. Come to think of it, I can't remember falling into the ditch, much less rescuing you from the mine." What does it mean?" Thomas asked. "I don't know. We only just came back. I remember bringing you to the yard just before the Queen came to the island." "I remember that too. But why can't we remember actually being at the mine?" The two engines decided to find out for themselves. That night, the two of them puffed up the line which led from the big station. "We'll have to investigate from here," said their crews. They walked past the signs and toward the collapsed mine shafts. "What are you doing back so soon?" Thomas asked. "Nothing to see. Let's head back." "You didn't even take a light with you. How could you have seen anything?" Their crews insisted, but Thomas resisted. "Gordon!" Thomas called. "Who are these engines?" Gordon asked. "I can explain," said a familiar voice. "I had hoped this day would never come, but alas, here we are. These were you," he continued solemnly. "What do you mean, were?" asked Thomas. "When you fell into the mine, Thomas, you didn't just fall. The mine collapsed beneath you, swallowing you whole. We tried bringing Gordon, our strongest engine, to lift you out with a pulley system. We misjudged how hollow the shaft was below, and he too fell into the growing chasm beneath the ground." "But how can we be here if we're down there?" Gordon asked. "It is a gruesome tale," said the Fat Controller, who had a major scandal due to our lack of judgment, and to save face, we saved your faces. There was a talented engineer from Crew who moved your identities into new shells. The engines you see below, your former selves, prototypes. That doesn't change who you are now," the Fat Controller said. "You're still two of my most useful engines. We gave you a second chance." "Avoiding a scandal We understand, Thomas said. Soon after, the two engines slogged home, buffer to buffer. Everything felt familiar and foreign at the same time. We didn't feel whole anymore, knowing that a part of them was rotting away in the bowels of the mines. They only hoped that one day, many years from now, these memories would become fuzzy too.